tonight's meeting, but declined to comment until he spoke to dog camper. Sean.
All right, thank you, Jess.
An old song asked the question, how much is that doggy in the window? Tonight we posed the question, do you have any idea where that puppy came from?
Puppy mills are notorious for their inhumane treatment of dogs. Tonight, Alex Peterson has a buyer beware warning for you and some tips on how to make sure your new best friend didn't come from a puppy mill.
The ASPCA and the Humane Society define puppy mills as factories of large-scale legal animal cruelty, profit trumping all else. A local veterinarian says mills are legal due to a weak federal Animal Welfare Act.
The dogs in those facilities are legally allowed to be kept in wire cages 6 inches longer than their body, not including their tail. That dog doesn't have room to stand up, it doesn't have room to sit down, and that's entirely legal.
Radford says almost all pet store puppies come from mills. She says including those at Heartland Pets in Erie's Mill Creek Mall, a store which claims they only use a handful of USDA breeders.
The problem is that a USDA certified breeder still keeps their dogs in inhumane conditions for profit.
Pet stores often use USDA licensing to provide a false sense of security to customers.
If you start to look into the violations that these millers have, you'll notice that they get a slap on the wrist every 3 to 6 months forever, but nothing happens.
We researched Heartland's breeders on the USDA website. More than a dozen had major violations. Robert Engbrecht cited for insufficient heat, dogs with red, swollen gums, others with loose, injured jaws, bird waste on feed bags, feeders caked with food and mold. One breeder administering expired meds, another using pig medication on dogs. Jerry Taylor's dog enclosures coated in brownish-black dirt and grime. A.G. Buchelman cited for dogs living on sharp, twisted metal flooring. And Shelley Kirshner, improper vet care, one dog's eye matted with a pink, fleshy protrusion. A former Heartland employee says mill problems follow dogs to the store.
It was my job to clean them up and make them smell good and be pretty to take them out onto the floor. Some of them hadn't had water or food in hours, so they would be, dehydrated, so we'd have to give them fluids and water, feed them, bathe them. You could tell that they were not kept in good conditions.
Bev Blasco knows what a sick puppy is like. Her $1,700 Heartland chow got sick just hours after purchase.
She has been in the hospital more than she has been with me. Right now, she is in Ohio in a special veterinary clinic because they don't know what's wrong with her. I am in the hole over $5,000 plus the price of the puppy.
One woman, though, is a proud Heartland customer.
I've purchased from Heartland 3 dogs over the past 15 years. I find that the dogs to be clean, healthy, well cared for. They just reassured me that they know the history of the animals, they know where they come from.
Heartland's owner, Richard Winslow, told us in part, Heartland Pets is inspected and approved by the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture. We proudly pass our inspections with a score of 100% compliance. Our puppies come from breeders who are licensed and inspected by the USDA. Winslow's statement is true. His store does routinely pass state inspections, but Dr. Radford says this is not about the store itself. It's about where he gets his puppies from. She wants Heartland to go humane and sell shelter dogs instead of mass-produced puppies.
The puppies are more items to him, not living creatures with feelings.
This is the United States of America. We shouldn't be doing this to man's best friend anymore.
Alex Peterson, Jet 24 Action News.
The full text of Heartland's response is available online at yourerie.com. There you'll also find another web exclusive story with more on this puppy debate. And the one thing that struck me, Jill, was when we both have dogs, so you hear about the vet bills that the one lady's ringing up, and you know how expensive the dogs can be.
But you do know, I know someone, though, too, who has bought 2 dogs from there, and they've had great luck in 2 great dogs. So anyway, what apparently began as some fall cleanup ended with firefighters being called out. It's new at 11. 4 departments were sent to the 5700 block of Schultz Road in Mill Creek just after 7 tonight.